Certainly, let's delve deeper into the multifaceted role of religion in the Israel-Palestine conflict. Historical and cultural foundations. The Israel-Palestine region has been a crossroads of civilizations for millennia, with religious traditions deeply embedded in its history and culture. For Jews, the region is the ancient homeland promised by God, where significant events in Jewish history, such as the Exodus from Egypt and the establishment of the kingdoms of Israel and Judah, took place. Similarly, for Christians, the land holds sacred sites associated with Jesus Christ's life, ministry, crucifixion, and resurrection. Muslims revere the region for its significance in Islamic history, particularly the events surrounding the life of Prophet Muhammad and the early Muslim community. This rich religious tapestry contributes to the deep emotional attachment and spiritual significance that Jews, Christians, and Muslims feel towards the land, intensifying the stakes of the conflict. Sacred geography and Jerusalem. Jerusalem, often referred to as the City of Peace or the Holy City, stands at the center of the Israel-Palestine conflict as a symbol of religious and national identity for Jews, Christians, and Muslims alike. Its old city houses religious sites of immense importance, including the Western Wall, the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, and the Dome of the Rock. Control over Jerusalem, particularly the Old City with its religious sites, is not merely a matter of territorial sovereignty but also a question of religious authority and identity. Each religious group views Jerusalem as integral to its faith and heritage, complicating efforts to find mutually acceptable solutions to its status. Religious nationalism and identity. Religion intersects with nationalism in the Israel-Palestine conflict, shaping the identities, aspirations, and narratives of both Israelis and Palestinians. Zionism, the Jewish nationalist movement advocating for the establishment of a Jewish state in the historic land of Israel, draws upon biblical promises and historical claims to justify Jewish sovereignty. For many Jews, the establishment of Israel represents the realization of religious prophecies and a return to their ancestral homeland after centuries of exile and persecution. Conversely, Palestinian nationalism incorporates elements of Islamic and Arab identity, framing the conflict as a struggle against foreign occupation and for self-determination. Religion serves as a unifying force, mobilizing support for national liberation movements and legitimizing territorial claims. Settlements and religious claims. Israeli settlement expansion in the occupied territories, particularly in the West Bank, is driven not only by strategic and security considerations but also by religious motivations. Some religious Zionists view the settlements as fulfilling divine mandates to reclaim and settle the biblical land of Judea and Samaria. They see themselves as pioneers in the fulfillment of biblical prophecy, establishing Jewish communities in what they perceive as the heartland of ancient Israel. This religiously motivated settlement enterprise exacerbates tensions with Palestinians, who view the settlements as illegal and as a barrier to the establishment of a viable Palestinian state. Religious extremism and conflict. Extremist elements on both sides of the conflict exploit religious narratives to justify violence, rejectionism, and maximalist agendas. Groups like Hamas in Gaza and certain far-right Jewish organizations in Israel invoke religious symbolism and rhetoric to legitimize attacks, resist compromise, and advance exclusivist visions of religious nationalism. They frame the conflict as a religious struggle for divine mandate and territorial sovereignty, rejecting secular or pragmatic approaches to conflict resolution. Religious extremism not only perpetuates cycles of violence but also deepens mutual mistrust, exacerbating the challenges of achieving a durable peace. Interfaith dynamics and peacebuilding. Despite the religious dimensions of the conflict, there are instances of interfaith cooperation and dialogue aimed at promoting peace, understanding, and reconciliation. Interfaith initiatives bring together Jews, Christians, and Muslims from both sides to engage in constructive dialogue. mutual respect, and joint activism. These efforts emphasize shared values, common humanity, and the interconnectedness of religious traditions. Interfaith dialogue offers a platform for building bridges, fostering empathy, and challenging divisive narratives that perpetuate the cycle of conflict. International religious involvement. The Israel-Palestine conflict resonates deeply with religious communities and leaders worldwide, who often have a stake in its resolution. Religious organizations, churches, mosques, synagogues, and religious leaders play active roles in advocacy, humanitarian relief, and peace-building efforts. They leverage their moral authority, spiritual teachings, and global networks to promote justice, human rights, and reconciliation. However, religious involvement can also exacerbate tensions when religious leaders espouse inflammatory rhetoric, exploit religious grievances, or take sides in the conflict, reinforcing sectarian divides and hindering efforts for mutual understanding and compromise. Cultural preservation and heritage. Beyond its religious significance, the Israel-Palestine region is home to a rich cultural heritage shaped by centuries of interaction among diverse civilizations. Protecting this cultural heritage, including religious sites, artifacts, and traditions, is essential for fostering mutual respect, preserving historical memory, and promoting reconciliation. Efforts to safeguard cultural heritage can serve as confidence-building measures, fostering trust and cooperation among communities with shared heritage and history. In conclusion, religion permeates every facet of the Israel-Palestine conflict, shaping identities, narratives, aspirations, and behaviors of both individuals and communities involved. While religion can be a source of division and conflict, it also holds the potential for healing, reconciliation, and peace-building when approached with humility, empathy, and a commitment to shared humanity. Recognizing and addressing the religious dimensions of the conflict is essential for fostering mutual understanding, resolving grievances, and building a sustainable peace based on justice, dignity, and respect for all. Click the subscribe button and bell icon to get updated and tell us your opinion.